Steam has some incredible horror games on sale right now, and honestly, this might be one of the best times to build your horror library. Whether you're into psychological horror, survival horror, creepy co-op games, or unforgettable story-driven adventures, there are some amazing deals available right now. So today I'm gonna show you some of the best horror games you can grab before these discounts disappear. And trust me, the first few games are absolute must-plays. First up, Resident Evil 4 is currently 75% off until August 3rd, and honestly, if you've somehow never played this game, now is the time to fix that. This isn't just one of the best horror games ever made, it's one of the best games ever made, period. The remake takes everything that made the original legendary and improves it with incredible visuals, modern gameplay, and some of the most satisfying combat you'll find in any survival horror game. Every village, every castle, and every encounter keeps you on edge. One minute you're carefully searching for supplies, and the next you're desperately trying to survive against an entire crowd of infected villagers. Even after all these years, Resident Evil 4 still sets the standard for the genre, and at 75% off, this is easily one of the best deals you'll find on Steam. And next, Resident Evil Requiem is currently 20% off until August 3rd. This is the newest chapter in one of gaming's most legendary horror franchises, and if you're planning to play it sooner or later, this is already a nice chance to save a little money. Capcom once again leans into what the series does best: creepy environments, constant tension, limited resources, and enemies that never let you feel completely safe. If you're already a Resident Evil fan, this is probably one of the easiest recommendations in today's video. Up next is Phasmophobia, currently 30% off until July 30th, and this is easily one of the best co-op horror games you can play with friends. You and your team investigate haunted locations using ghost hunting equipment, trying to figure out exactly what kind of spirit is hiding inside. Sounds simple until the lights go out, someone hears footsteps upstairs, and your friend suddenly disappears over voice chat. No two investigations ever feel exactly the same, and that's what keeps people coming back for hundreds of hours. It's scary, hilarious, and completely unpredictable when you're playing with friends. If you've never experienced Phasmophobia in co-op, you're seriously missing out. And next, A Plague Tale: Innocence is available for an incredible 90% off until July 30th. Now, technically, this isn't a full horror game, but there are so many moments that genuinely feel like one. Walking through plague-ridden villages, hiding from soldiers, escaping endless swarms of rats, and trying to protect your little brother creates a constant feeling of tension that never really goes away. On top of that, the story is fantastic, the visuals still look amazing, and the relationship between the two main characters is one of the best you'll find in modern games. At 90% off, this is an absolute steal. Up next, Little Nightmares is currently 75% off until August 6th, and this game proves that you don't need jump scares to make players uncomfortable. Everything about this world feels wrong. You're tiny, almost completely helpless, and every creature you encounter is somehow even more disturbing than the last. The level design, the sound, and the atmosphere constantly make you feel like something terrible is about to happen. It's one of those games that sticks in your head long after you've finished it, and if you've somehow never played it before, now is the perfect time. And next, Zombie is currently 75% off until July 27th, and this is actually one of those forgotten horror games that deserves another chance. Back when Ubisoft was experimenting with different ideas, they released this brutal survival horror experience set in a zombie-infested London. Supplies are extremely limited, every fight feels dangerous, and dying has real consequences because your previous character comes back as a zombie carrying all of your equipment. It's slower than most modern zombie games, but that's exactly what makes every decision feel important. If you enjoy old-school survival horror, don't overlook this one. Up next is Amnesia: The Bunker, currently available with a huge 80% discount, but this deal won't be around for much longer. This is easily one of the most intense horror games released in the last few years. You're trapped inside a dark World War I bunker with almost no resources, and something is constantly hunting you through the tunnels. The worst part is that you're never really safe. The creature reacts to the noise you make, the lights can suddenly go out, and every bullet you fire feels like a decision you'll regret later. Unlike a lot of horror games, there are no scripted chase scenes every few minutes. The tension comes from knowing that the monster could appear almost anywhere at almost any time. If you're looking for a horror game that keeps your heart racing from beginning to end, this is an easy recommendation. And next, SOMA is also 80% off, and just like Amnesia, this discount won't last much longer. At first, SOMA looks like another underwater horror game, but after an hour or two, you realize it's something much bigger than that. Yes, there are terrifying creatures hiding in the darkness, and plenty of moments that will make you jump, but what really makes SOMA unforgettable is its story. It asks questions about consciousness, identity, and what it actually means to be human. By the time the credits roll, you'll probably still be thinking about the ending days later. It's one of those rare horror games where the story is just as terrifying as the monsters. Moving on, Sherlock Holmes. The Awakened is currently 90% off on every edition until July 28th. This isn't traditional horror, but it does an amazing job mixing detective work with Lovecraftian horror. You investigate disturbing murders, search crime scenes for clues, question witnesses, and slowly uncover a mystery that becomes darker and stranger with every new chapter. Instead of relying on cheap jump scares, the game builds tension through its atmosphere and storytelling. If you enjoy solving mysteries while slowly descending into something far more terrifying than you expected, this is definitely one to pick up while it's 90% off. Up next is Pneumata, currently discounted by an incredible 90% until July 29th, and this might be one of the biggest hidden gems in today's video. Imagine the atmosphere of classic Silent Hill mixed with modern survival horror. You're exploring an abandoned apartment complex where reality slowly starts falling apart. Every hallway feels unsettling. Every room makes you question what's real, and you never know what might be waiting around the next corner. The game focuses heavily on exploration, puzzles, and psychological horror instead of non-stop action, making every new discovery feel even more unsettling. At 90% off, it's one of the easiest recommendations in today's sale. And finally, if you're looking for something completely different, White Knight is also available for an incredible 90% off. Instead of realistic graphics, the entire game is presented in a beautiful black and white art style inspired by classic noir movies. You explore a mysterious mansion filled with supernatural secrets, solving puzzles while trying to stay in the light because the darkness hides things you'd rather not meet. It's slow, atmospheric, and unlike almost anything else in the horror genre, even years after its release, White Knight still feels unique, and at 90% off, it's absolutely worth adding to your library. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I cover the best Steam sales every week, from horror and co-op games to huge AAA discounts and hidden gems you don't want to miss. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.